Chapter 4. Back in the cul-de-sac, the kids were preparing themselves to hunt down the Eds. Rolf stacked a bunch of his belongings on Wilfred, as Sarah and Jimmy made their picnic lunch, and Johnny tried not to look noticeable throughout the neighborhood. Little did any of the kids know, Johnny had a secret melon fortress built up in a tree. He was planning to hunt down the Eds and bring them down with melon power. He remembered when he played that shtick. All of the kids enjoyed it and wouldn't stop talking about him. If he got there first, then all the kids would really appreciate him. Maybe his and Plank's loner days would come to an end. Kevin and Naz were going off on his bike when they heard someone yelling. Kevin ignored him and just kept on biking. Naz wondered how Johnny was ever going to get the Eds. None of them had a clue where they went. She put that thought aside and smiled at Kevin. He was too focused on the road to notice her. Late in the spring, they started going out. It started out if she didn't act as smart as she was. He took a liking to her. The act was getting tiring, but these past months with Kevin had been the best. A fly smacked into her face. She kept her cool and just flicked it off, until even more flies started covering her face with their guts. Natures are so gross, Kev. These bugs are like freaking me out, she wailed in the most dramatic voice she could make. Get a grip, Naz, Kevin shouted. This rage train isn't stopping until I thump those three twerps. Kevin turned his eyes back on the road, only to have a swarm of flies hit their faces. Their vision was blinded by bug guts. Kevin's bike steered out of control, making them crash into a peach shed. The two landed in a small field just outside of Peach Creek. Ow! That hurt! Naz said aloud as she cracked her back. Oh man! I'm so sorry! Kevin shouted. Naz's heart fluttered. She loved when Kevin tried to make her feel better. Oh, I'm okay. Kevin ran toward her with open arms. Naz did the same, ready to feel safe against his warm body. It was totally my fault. Naz looked up. Kevin was practically crying over his wrecked bike. He heaved it up and immediately started repairing it. Her heart plunged into a fire for a second, but Naz decided to keep her cool. It wasn't the first time he chose the bike over her. Hello? Remember me? She said, acting all sweet. Kevin looked up at the road in front of them. Naz, we need to figure out where those fool-ups took off. I'm pretty sure they won't be heading back to the cul-de-sac. Not after what they did. That's the last thing they do. They're like such cowards. Good one, Naz. Kevin laughed. Naz's cheeks grew hot. He liked her witty comments. He looked at her again with an enduring look. Say, you got one of those hairpin things? Totally, she said with a little too much energy. Cowards run and hide, right? Who's the one person in the world that Eddy trusts, beside his two loser pals? There was hardly anybody that Eddy could trust. Everyone was always mean to him, even if he didn't do anything. In a way, Naz felt bad for him. Living in a world where he could be hated every day had to be hard. What about his brother? That little twerp wouldn't have the... That's it! Kevin shouted. They're going to Eddy's brother's place. Kevin gathered Naz and hugged her against his warm body. Naz! You're awesome, babe! Before Naz would hug him back, Kevin threw her off of him. Hold it. Eddy's brother will murder us if he finds out we're after his little brother. Kevin fixed up the last of his bike in a blink of an eye. We're wasting time. We gotta get those dorks before they get there. If they get there first, they'll never get theirs. What? Forget it. We gotta go. Kevin biked off, but his front wheel was dented, making it hard to bike like a normal one. Eddy would see the day his brother nearly hit him with his car. He was only 5 years old, riding his little bike. He just made out Eddy's brother's face. He would never forget that medical look in his eyes, and that was the only time he saw him, because that was the night he left, along with his mother. His dad knew they'd be better off living in the suburbs, but his mom didn't. Kevin hated Eddy for ruining his life. He was going to give him the pounding of a lifetime.